Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Beyond Boardroom Business. I'm your host, Coach Stephanie, and you all are you just don't understand. Tonight's episode is going to be so amazing. Let me just read his bio on the back of the book that I helped him with because I am Coach Stephanie. I am a book writing coach and I love what I do. And this bestseller right here, which is called Wealth Secrets of the Soul by Mr. Master. Okay, let's get it straight. Master JeRu. Let me introduce Master JeRu. He is an international transformational speaker, visionary, thought leader, and wealth, health, opulence, and wisdom coach. All right. And the master meditation teacher. He has taught on five continents, and 35 countries, and is the founder and chief inspirational officer of Real Wealth Institute, a certified transcendental meditation teacher, and he has over 60,000 hours of meditation experience. This is the real deal, people. All right. Master JeRu's initial training was with the founder of Transcendental Meditation, Maharashi. I hope I'm saying it right. I'm sure you'll let me know. Maharashi Mahesh Yogi in Ethiopia at the base of the Blue Nile. He is also the author of Autobiography of a Black Yogi. And we're also going to discuss 108 awesome ways to raise your vibration. Again, this book here, it's on Amazon.com. Don't sleep on this. This book is amazing. I know because I helped put it together for Master JeRu. So without further ado, let's bring on Master JeRu. Greetings. How are you tonight?
Greetings, Coach Stephanie. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. Most definitely. You know, when I was going through editing the book, I just learned so much about you and your purpose. And it's just amazing the life you have had thus far. And who knows what's to come, especially being an author. But you have done so many amazing things, just traveling around the world and inspiring and helping so many people. But before I even get started with this in-depth interview, let's hear it from you. Who is Master JeRu?
Wow. Well, first of all, Master JeRu is a servant. I serve God, myself, and I serve the people. In the East, there's a thing that's called Dharma, which is one's natural duty. And when I was in college, right out of high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I met a little black lady who would remind you of your favorite aunt. She was barely 5 feet tall, and she said to me, JeRu, I want you to take over for me. I said, wow. Take over what? I wear dark shades at nighttime. It's like,
okay.
Yeah, right. Well, that was back then, you know. And that was many decades ago. And she ended up inviting me to a special transformational retreat. And I literally became a teacher of transcendental meditation. And since then, that's been my dharma, to help people to be inspired, uplifted, and awakened, and to teach people how to be the greatest they can be, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, and financially.
Okay. Did you always know that this is what you wanted to do while you were growing up?
Not really. You know, I was just kind of living life growing up, I actually grew up in the hood, which is very interesting. With my grandmother. In fact, my grandmother was so tough. We used to call her Grandma. Okay, it wasn't grandmommy or grandma. It's Grum. You know, and she's from the old school. She used to make me go to the bush and get
Oh,
my own switch.
oh
And that
wow.
put more pain on me, the psychological pain, than the actual switch.
But we needed
Okay.
those people. We needed people like that growing up.
Yes,
You know. Wow.
absolutely, absolutely. And Grandma Hall was a great lady. I loved her a lot, and she helped to inspire me and my dad, who was her son. And my dad said, he made sure that I went to school. None of them had gone to school. I was like the first person
Wow.
in my family tradition to go to higher education. And I live in Atlanta, and so I ended up in Atlanta. I'm from Washington D.C.,
Okay.
and the reason why I ended up in Atlanta was because I had a friend who invited me to a spring break, down in Atlanta. And when I came to Atlanta, and my friend, this is a number of decades ago. So, I'm from up north, I'm African American. So, I came down here and we went through this park and we went across a bridge and we went to this mini mansion. And, up north, blacks weren't living like that. Okay. And I said, man, this is a nice park and a nice bridge on the way to your family's home. He said, no. This is not a park. This is my daddy's land. Okay.
Wow.
But, and that's our bridge. Okay.
Wow.
So, that really, because, I was from up north, down south, the Ku Klux Klan, all that, I didn't want to have nothing to do with it. But when I came down to Atlanta, it was a totally different experience. And I ended up going to Morehouse,
Okay.
which incredibly, powerful black men and knowledge and tradition. In fact, years later, I ended up giving a lecture on the wealth secrets of the soul, on being the best that you can be in the same hall that Martin Luther King spoke in. So
Wow.
it was very, very powerful. And I ended up taking over, just like Pauline said. I
Wow.
took over for her. So it's a beautiful thing.
That is beautiful. Wow. So, who inspires you?
Wow. I would say, well, one of the things that happened to me years ago was that I went to the base of the Blue Nile. That's where my teacher training was, in Ethiopia,
Wow.
which is the beginning of civilization. And I
Yes.
became an expert in the sacred science of sound, okay, which is called mantras. And so one of the things that really inspired me was the land and my teacher, okay, who was Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. He's not in his body anymore, but he's a great being. That's actually a title. Maha means great.
Yeah.
And yeah, you did say it not so correctly. It's Rishi.
Rishi. Okay.
Rishi, Maharishi. Rishi means seer. Okay.
Yeah.
So he is a Maharishi, which is a great seer. All right. And a Rishi, in fact, there's controversy, but some of the wise people say that the three wise men were actually rishis from the
Mm,
east. Okay. And
that makes
so
sense.
a rishi is someone who's raised their consciousness so high that they're literally one with creation, the universe. And there's a thing in which you don't hear about on CNN, but it's called the Akash. Okay, and there's a thing that's called the Akashic records, where every frequency, every vibration, every word, every sound, every speech is reverberating, and you can reach a certain level of frequency where you can pick up on, the highest of the high, the greatest of the great. So, development of consciousness is one of the highest and best things, and that's what I learned, and that's what I teach. I teach people how to develop their own consciousness, because one of the things that most people don't realize is that every person on planet Earth, if you're a human being, and we won't get into that, there are some other beings here, but the majority of people here are human beings. If you got a nervous system and a brain, okay, then literally you are a god, a goddess. You can be a fully realized being. You're a master. Okay. But you got to realize it. If you don't realize it, you can't even make it down the street sometimes. Okay.
Right.
So that's what I help people to do. I think I have one of the greatest jobs in the universe.
I agree.
To help people to wake up to their greatness, to wake up to that full enlightenment.
Yes.
Most people are functioning, at a 5 to 10%, functioning of who they really are. Scientists have put what they call the EEG machine on most people's brains. Okay. And, which is an electrosensorograph machine, and they can actually pick up the impulses coming off the brain. And they find that the average person, actually the above average person, is only using about 5 to 10% of their mental potential. An average person is probably using 2 or 3. Okay. That's what fires in the brain. And see, neurons that fire together wire together. So I train people how to tap into that other part. Scientists call it gray matter in the brain, and to keep the coherence. Okay, because you usually function on one side of the brain or the other, and it's connected through your nervous system from the base of your spine. And in traditional culture, and in some of the sacred books, the good book, the spine is actually referred to as Jacob's ladder, the 33 vertebrates and that connects up to the brain, and at the base of the brain is the skull, where it's also considered the mouth of God is the mind of man. But there's so many impediments from conditioning, programming, stress, etc., that very few people have that complete opening directly to, their greatness.
And what's beautiful about it is that we all are a part of it. We just have to remember who we are. And the life force comes through the skull, correct? From the back of the skull. Yeah. So I mean, I agree. You have the best job in the world to be able to help people remember who they are and why they are here. Because I often tell people, I mean, I don't go a day without meditating. I start my day with meditation. It's so important. I can't imagine my life without it, because I have had a lot of challenges coming from the south side of Chicago, being raised by my father, who was a construction worker. I'm looking for love in all the wrong places. It's so many different things that I went through, and just having that seed planted in my head about meditation, and I was aware of it, but I never really applied it until after my first divorce, and really understanding what meditation does. And it is really, it's so important. And I'm so, like I said, I'm so thankful that you are here to help people, because it's so necessary. So thank you for doing that.
Yes, meditation. A lot of people miss it because we're so conditioned into the hustle, and when you wake up, your 5 senses, everything is going out.
Yeah.
But that being still, there's a great quote in the God spell, okay, the gospel, or really the God spell, all right, which
I like
is
that.
be still and
Yes.
know that I am God.
Mm,
It
mm,
doesn't
mm.
say be hustle, okay, or be or,
That
or
is so
be
true.
worried or be angry. It says be still.
That's true.
And most people, we're not trained here in
Yes.
the West. Okay.
Yes.
In fact,
Yes.
the mind in most of the world, especially in the Western world, is considered what they call the monkey mind.
Right.
Okay. You know,
Right.
monkeys always jumping around, is always, moving and what have you. And if the mind is not disciplined, okay, it's literally like a puppy. You bring a puppy home, if you don't train that puppy,
So true.
all right, it's gonna pee pee poo poo all over the place. But if you train it, okay, to go to the paper or go to the door, then you have a house trained a dog as they grow up. All right, so the
Right.
mind is the same way.
Yes.
I've worked with thousands of people on in 35 countries, and most people, when they close their eyes to meditate, their mind is usually filled with thoughts or they
Yes.
fall asleep.
Yes.
Okay, so you have to be trained how to transcend, to go beyond. That's what transcend means. I'm an expert in I'm an expert in all forms of meditation, but my main, which I call the Rolls Royce of meditation,
Mhm.
okay, is
Yes.
transcendental meditation. Okay.
Yes. I agree.
And transcend means to go beyond, and meditate means deep thinking.
Yes.
Any form of meditation is going to help you. Okay.
Man, for real.
Any form.
Yeah.
But when you can go to that Rolls Royce level,
Man, it's nothing like
yeah,
that.
that just takes you to a whole nother level, you see.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
everybody should be meditating. That's a
Mhm.
part of life. In
It
fact,
is.
in science, it's referred to as the third law of thermodynamics, which states that when a system goes to absolute zero, the entropy goes out.
Mm.
Entropy is disorder, dis-ease, disharmony. Okay. So for your system, if you don't sleep at night, your whole system is off. It needs
Right.
that rest.
It
The
does.
deeper the rest, the more profound the activity.
Yes.
So the technique that I teach, you get twice the level of rest
Mm.
than you get in 15 to 20 minutes than you get during 8 hours of sleep. Your
Awesome.
metabolic rate, your oxygen consumption goes down to a minus 16%. All right. When you go to sleep at night, at the deepest point of sleep is REM sleep.
Right.
It goes down to about a minus 8%.
Okay.
So with a technique like TM, you go twice that. But the difference is, see, this is the huge difference. When you go to sleep at night, it's good. It helps your organs. If people don't get their sleep, they start to go mad. They've done studies on that.
Yes.
But what people really need is rest.
Mm, mm, mm.
The deeper the rest, the more profound the activity. So
Man, so
what
true.
happens in TM is what's called restful alertness. The body's more rested than during 8 hours of sleep, but the mind is alert, aware, and expanding and going into coherence. You
Yes.
see?
I
So
love it.
yeah, go ahead.
So what I was going to say is when I try to talk about meditation with people, because it's a skill. It's a skill to be able
Definitely.
to wake up. And again, you mentioned the brain is the monkey brain, but the brain is a tool for us to function on this planet. So the brain is doing what it's supposed to do. It's thinking. So the
Yeah.
mastery comes in when you're able to silence the thoughts, because people get into memories, thoughts, and moods when they're trying to meditate, and that's where the strength comes in, the discipline, and all the other benefits of meditating when you practice to meditate. People think, oh, if I can't get into the zone right away because of all these thoughts, oh, I'll just put it to the side. But what I would like for them to understand is it's the practice. It's the getting up and sitting still and slowing down the thoughts. It's the space between the thoughts, right?
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been paying
Yeah.
attention.
The gap, the space between
Yeah,
the thoughts. Absolutely. Absolutely.
yeah.
So, it's a very powerful piece. We're literally now how deep do you want me to get? Okay.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay. All right. So we are incarnated on this planet. Okay. You descend as a whatever you want to call it. In the East, they call it Atman. We call it soul. So your soul, okay, descends into matter. Okay. And your energy or your spirit manifests through energetic frequency vibrations that is called your kundalini and your chakras.
Yes.
Okay. Literally, when the sperm connects with the egg, all right, the invisible spiritual part is what is created first. See, the invisible is the basis of the visible. The relative is the base. The absolute is the basis of the relative. The spiritual is the basis of the physical. Right? So what happens is that energetic consciousness forms first, and then the physical manifests around it.
That makes sense.
So at the base of your spine is the energetic energy, which is referred to in the East as the kundalini. As the kundalini comes up through the 7 major chakras, we actually have 108 chakras, but the 7 major ones,
right?
Okay, is at the base of your anus. It's called the first chakra. Then you got the second one, which is around your genital organs, and then you got your third one, which is around your solar plexus. Then you got the fourth one. Actually, your spiritual heart is in the center of your chest. Okay, and then you got your physical heart on the left side. Then your throat would be your fifth chakra, which is where you speak life. If you got enough consciousness, all right. Otherwise, you speak in other kinds of things. Okay. Well, then you got your third eye, or the sixth chakra, which was actually called your first eye in ancient times, because that's the eye where you can see between the physical and the spiritual. That's the veil. And most people's what is called pineal gland, and it is blocked, it's crusted, and it's like the size of a shriveled pea. Yeah. In ancient times, you remember in ancient Egypt, everybody had those big elongated heads.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So they had pineal glands the size of golf balls, and they were unctuous. And so people were very spiritual. See, what happens is that because it's an error that's going on now. In the East, it's called Kali Yuga. Okay. Which means the age of ignorance. Everything is backwards. Everybody's tripping. In fact, most people are on round trips. They're not even just tripping one.
Right? Because they haven't learned. They gotta come back.
Right. Okay. So, and most of the planet is stuck in the lower 3 chakras.
Gotcha.
sex,
Mm.
survival, sex, and the ego.
Yes.
Right.
Man, you hit it.
So, as you become still, the conditioning and the programming that started even before you were physically born, when you're physically in your mother's womb, you're picking up the stresses, that 9 months, whatever she's going through, whatever environment, conditionings, programmings, what have you.
Yeah.
And literally, by the time you're between the ages of 7 and 10, your subconscious has locked in 95% of your life.
Right. Right.
Okay.
That's why
And
they're
no
able
matter
to
what
tell. I
Hmm?
was just going to say that's why they're able to tell how many prisons to open based upon the third grade mentality of the child. Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's already locked in.
Yeah.
See, up from minus 9 months to about 7, okay, your brain and your nervous system is functioning in what is called a theta level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Theta is just absorbing things, just like the mother duck, the little ducklings, however she's moving, they're moving with it. Okay.
Right. Right.
So the theta is the area where the system is absorbing everything. And then unless you go in and change it and have the tools to unblock the blocks, and the blocks, there's a big name for the blocks. The big name is called stress.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stress is any chemical or structural imbalance that remains in the system after an overload of experience.
Okay.
Okay. And you're always getting an overload.
Man.
A simple definition of stress is any imprint on your nervous system. Any imprint. Me talking to you now, the wind blowing in your face.
Right.
So you have millions of nerves that go throughout every fiber of your body. They connect up to your brain through your neurons. Your
Right.
neurons firing produces your mind. Okay. So you're picking up the stresses all day long, the imprints. Right. That's why the body at the end of the day starts manifesting as being tired. And then you fall asleep and you go into an unconscious realm. Okay. Yeah. And there's a whole nother thing. See, just like there's a whole universe out there, the sun, the moon, the stars, the Milky Way galaxies, the universe, the omniverse. There's a whole universe inside, which very few people know about because everything is conditioned to the out.
Right.
We train you how to reverse the process while you're still conscious. That's the restful alertness. Okay. And then you become still, so you're getting the entropy out. And so it improves your health, which is just, disease is dis-ease. A dis-ease in your mind that brings about a physical malfunction in your body. So when you can get at ease, then you improve your health. You improve your wealth. You improve your emotions, which is just energy and motion. Okay. Yes. And you start opening up the higher chakras. And to tell you the truth, there's actually 5 more. 4 above your head and 1 below your feet. In ancient times, we had 12. And we also had 12 strands of DNA. Okay. And those 12 strands, now scientists is calling, we only have 2 strands, and the other 10 strands are junk DNA. Whoa. Which is absurd. Why would nature give you some junk?
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So literally, as we become more awake, aware, and vibrantly alive through the most powerful, I got another book coming out called 108 Ways to Raise Your Vibration. Guess what the number one way is?
What?
Meditation.
But of course. Wow,
But,
you are so.
there's many more other ways, okay? And that's what I'm starting to bring to people's awareness. But you got to have that foundation.
So why do people, in layman's terms, because we went deep for those who can take it. So let's pump the brakes for those who've never heard of meditation. Why is meditation necessary? In layman's terms.
Okay. Well, in layman's terms, you've probably heard the term that, we're spiritual beings having a human experience.
Yes.
Spiritual just means that which is unseen. Okay. The 60 to 100,000 thoughts in your mind are spiritual.
Wow.
Okay. You see, everybody's spiritual.
Right.
But because of the conditioning and the programming, some people don't want to acknowledge it. And all they go by is what they see, taste, touch, feel, because that's their experience. But the body and the senses is just one of your tools. Like you were saying, your brain is just a tool for you to use. Okay. And we're really multidimensional light beings.
Yes. Yes.
We're not living. So the physical body is just one part of you. And everybody innately knows that I'm not a human being that once in a while has a spiritual experience, but I am 1,000% spiritual.
Yes.
Having a human experience. Okay.
That's so powerful.
But you got to wake up to that.
That's right. That's right.
See?
And we all have
that. You're born with that greatness. I'll give you another thing. Different people say different things about God. You even have atheists, okay? Yeah. But just about everybody can say that God is omnipresent, omnipotent, and omniscient.
Yes.
Okay. So if God is omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent, Coach Stephanie, tell me, where does God end and Coach Stephanie begin?
Man, it's all meshed together. I love it. I love it. I just love it. Man, I'm telling you, people need to understand. Wake up, people. Wake up. Meditation is the answer. And I'm so thankful that you have courses and this book here, Wealth Secrets of the Soul. Let me just read the table of contents, which again is on Amazon.com. Life is an inside job, pretty much like you were explaining. Open Sesame. You got Portal 1, The Secrets of the Mind. Portal 2, Secrets of the Body. Portal 3, Secrets of Relationships. So important. Portal 4, Spiritual Secrets. Portal 5, Secrets of Financial Freedom. Yes.
Yes.
Chapter. An awakened life. Oh my gosh, so necessary. And then you have the conclusion and in a series of knowledge books. This book here is complete. And then you say that you have another book coming out, 108 awesome ways to raise your vibration. What is that book about?
It's a practical guide, and so this technique. If you look at any successful person, in fact, there's a book, I haven't read it, but people have told me about it. It's called Atomic Habits. Okay. And in the book, it basically says that anything that you do over and over again, it turns into a habit. And there's a fine line between success and failure. The most successful people have the best habits. Okay. So you start developing a routine, a practice, just like you shower every day, you brush your teeth every day to take care of your physical body. You know, meditation is one of the techniques that helps your mental body, your emotional body, your spiritual body, which is the basis of all the others. Okay. Mental, emotional, physical, spiritual is the basis of all of them. And then we throw in the financial body because, you know, we don't live out in nature and build our own houses and grow our own food. So you got to create some currency.
Man. That's
the
it.
value for exchange, right? You see. So you know, we're looking at being the best that we can be. Yes. You know, you're naturally born with the ability to be great, to be magnificent.
Yes.
See, you have a marvelous mind, and your physiology. Most people think that, you know, they, you know, barely make it to 100. They stick around, and you know, they get more mature. I like to say mature instead of old. Okay. But that doesn't even have to be the case. In fact, there was a book saying taxes in the West, you know, taxes and death are inevitable.
Right.
Okay. But there's fact and there's truth. Okay. So that might be a fact, but that's not the truth. Okay.
I love it.
So literally on this planet, in the past and even now, there are people who don't die. They ascend.
Yes.
Okay. All right. There are people who don't pay taxes and create a lot of abundance. Okay. and they don't have to run from the IRS. Okay.
Right.
Because there's certain way that everything is a technique.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
And so there's also people on this planet that youth instead of age. Okay. You hear me? I said youth instead of age. There are people on this planet who have bliss attacks instead of heart attacks. Okay.
Wow.
You got to raise your consciousness, though.
Yeah.
You got to start stepping into your power. You got to start stepping into what some people refer, I and my father. It's actually I and my mother, Father God are one. That level of oneness, okay, which we're all part of. And I'm gonna tell you something else that's deep. It's simple, but it's profound. The same consciousness that's coming through my eyes, your eyes, and everybody in this audience, and everybody on planet Earth and everywhere else is the same consciousness.
Right. It's all a piece of one. Yes, of one. Yes, total. Yes.
We're an individualized expression of the universe, or some people call God or source. Okay. Yes. We're individualized expression. That's what I was talking about before, how we descend into matter.
Yeah.
And the whole process of awakening is where we ascend back to the source.
Beautiful. Yes. I call it the radiant field.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. Radiant field. Wow.
See, I be thinking. So let me ask you this. Tell us a little bit about the alchemy of enlightenment.
Yes, the alchemy of enlightenment. Well, first of all, everybody on the planet is an alchemist. Okay. And you know, in the fairy tales, and there's a lot of great knowledge in fairy tales. They say where you turn, you know, lead into gold. Okay. So the greatest lead into gold is to turn your negative thoughts into positive thoughts. Yes. To turn your discordant thoughts into positive thoughts. Because every thought creates.
I was saying it's like making lemonade out of lemons, huh?
Yes. Okay. Exactly. But everything starts with a thought. Even in the good book, it says that, you know, the word was with God. Here's another little insight. Your word comes from 3 levels. Your word is the thought, your word is your spoken word, and your word comes from your spiritual heart as the finest feeling. The feeling gets the blessing. You know, you hear people talk about affirmations to affirm the good. What puts an affirmation, a thought, into 5th gear is the energy behind it, which is the emotion, which means energy in motion. We're all energy.
Yeah.
E equals MC squared. Okay, the Einstein thing. Energy equals energy. Energy equals, you know, the square root of the speed of light. Okay. And it all comes from your consciousness. Your consciousness is the sum total of who you are, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. All right. You are a conscious being. All right. And it's up to you to become more and more conscious. Your subconscious literally runs 95 to 98% of your life.
Wow.
All right. And if you don't go in and expand that and dissolve the stresses that are keeping it in place, you're locked into that 7-year-old. I don't care if you 50, 80, 100 years old.
Yeah.
And one of the things that humans have locked into, this is scientists have studied this, that everybody thinks they're going to die. It's called the death hormone.
Right.
That's why people don't live past 100. Okay. Whereas we've had examples. Remember Methuselah in the Bible, they said he was 900.
Right.
Okay. There's a great sister which you don't hear that much about, because, you know, history is his story.
Right.
All right. So there's a great sister. Her name is Anna, grandmother of Jesus.
Wow.
She lived to 650.
Wow.
And had 55 children.
Whoa.
And ascended. Okay. You see, ascension, you know, in ancient times, that was standard. Everybody ascended. Nobody died. But we went into this frequency called Kali Yuga, the age of ignorance. And then people got off the path. And the energy went down. And very few people make it past 100.
Right.
And their bodily temple, which is created by the thoughts in their mind, they think they're going to get old and die. So guess what?
They die. Be careful what you pray for.
Right, exactly. But you go in there and you reprogram it.
Yeah.
Then we have even greater examples. There's a great gentleman called Thoth.
Okay.
In the Egyptian, they call him Tahuti. The Greeks call him Hermes. They say that the brother ruled for 14,000 years.
Wow.
Okay, he ruled. He had to grow up, and, you know, I guess at some point he stopped ruling. So he was around at least 15, 16,000 years. And then ascended. Okay? So we create our own reality. You start expanding your consciousness, there's no limit. Like, for instance, there's another great being. His name is Patanjali. He created what was called the Yoga Sutras.
Yes.
Okay? And in the Yoga Sutras, they're what are called the cities, which means the ability. They're called threads of consciousness. One of the cities is referred to, we call it yogic flying, which is like levitation. But that's the limited aspect in Kali Yuga.
Right.
But the actual sutra, the formula, you should be able to walk on sunbeams and moonbeams and fly throughout the universe at will in your physical body.
Right. Right.
You see what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yes.
Because your physical body is just atoms and molecules.
That's right. That's
Okay.
right.
And that's why the brother, some people call him Jesus, others call him Yeshua or Yeshua. Whenever he said something, spoke the word, and he had all of his stuff open, he came in as an avatar, which is a direct cognition of the source.
Mm.
Water. He said wine to the water. The atoms and molecules rushed around. Boom.
Yeah.
It's wine now. All right.
Mm.
The brother Lazarus. Lazarus had already left his body. He says, Lazarus, get up. Lazarus ran and jumped back in his body and got up.
Wow.
See? At that
Wow.
level, you're totally in tune with natural law.
Yeah.
From the observer point of view, or you're in a limited state of consciousness, you call it a miracle. All right.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
But miracles are happening all the time when you're in total alignment with natural law.
That's right. That's right.
The whole universe is for us.
Mm.
The highest form of creation on planet Earth is the human.
Yes.
Okay. And everything is for us. It's just that through our thoughts and limited conditioning, all right, we limit the unlimited.
Mm.
That's crazy. But you start being still.
Yes.
Because all knowledge is available to everyone.
Oof.
But you got to be able to tap in, tune in, and turn on. That's why meditation is so powerful.
Yes. Yes.
In that stillness, it's all revealed to you. See, you go from a level of superstition to belief. Belief is very powerful. You can do a lot with belief. But the highest level is knowingness.
Yes. 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 Remembering.
Be still and know that I am God.
Whew. I love it. I love listening to you every time, every time. And the beautiful part is that you offer workshops, you have online course, books. I mean, it's just amazing. I'm so thankful to have met you. And how can people find you?
Well, I'm in the process, the online game. I'm just learning, okay? But I'm going to be having a YouTube channel.
Awesome.
Coming up. This new book, which you're helping me to promote, and thank you so much for helping me with the previous book. I'm going to be doing a 33-day launch, and in that we're going to be having a YouTube channel. We're going to be doing lives. I'm also going to set up a membership with a subscription for people to go deeper and get the knowledge all the time, and retreats. See, when I went away for 3 months, okay, to become a teacher of TM.
Wow.
Where you're just saturated in it.
Yeah.
Okay. Knowledge. Yeah. Because when you're in activity, you got to function.
That's true.
But you can be in an environment where you can be still and go deep. You can explore that universe within yourself. As above, so below. As within, so without. Okay. So we're also going to have retreats, day-long retreats, weekend retreats, and a week long. In fact, I got at the end of August, I got a week-long course in Jamaica, right on the beach. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So
I will be there.
Okay, there you go. There you go. It's going to be awesome sauce. And so, where people can reach me is
they can contact me.
Yes, they can contact Stephanie. Yes. But these things are going to be set up, and Master JeRu is going to start being all over the internet. I had a site, but the technical stuff, I got to put it back up. It was masterjru.com.
Okay.
You know, I'm also on Facebook, and it's JeRu. They wouldn't let me put the accent on it, but it's JeRu Hall, Hall on Facebook. But I'm getting ready to do a business one for that. And then on Instagram, it's the Black Avatar at the Black Avatar. But all those are going to be revamped and changed within the next week or so, and we're going to be running a 33-day launch for the book and all the other services, you know, to help people work. And I do TM classes. You know, I don't do them, you know, every week or every month, but once a quarter, I have those classes. And I'm here in Atlanta and also in DC. And I'm working on a way to try to do it where it can be online. TM is unique. It's you can do the last 4 classes online, the last 3 classes online, but the very first class is 7 Steps to Learning, and the very first class has to be in person.
Yeah.
Okay, because everybody learns at their own rate, and the way TM works is that you receive your own individualized mantra or sacred sound. Okay, and that's given to you in a very special way, and it's different for different people. So that's why that it has to be done in person. But we're working on a way to put it on the highways and the byways of the internet. But now it doesn't exist. Right.
It's all coming together. I'm so excited for your journey and all different things coming into fruition for you. Is there anything you would like to leave the viewers and listeners?
Actually, it is. There is actually 2 quotes that I actually sent to a friend of mine in Africa last night, and it kind of sums it up. I got it right here because I just sent it to him.
Okay.
But I got a lot of stuff. Okay. Just like I had all those tabs up there until Stephanie showed me how to get the group. What's it called? Group history.
Right.
All right. So this is a quote. Your true purpose in life is to get back to your God self. Ashe.
Ashe. Yes.
Another great quote, which I just sent to my friend last night, is start understanding yourself as an evolving being of light. Your role on this planet is to first and foremost evolve your consciousness.
Ooh, so necessary.
Okay?
Yes.
That's the real deal.
That's it. That's it.
Evolve your consciousness. You see? That's the deal.
Yeah.
Because, you know, all this other stuff is fine, but you come here, you know, naked, and you leave naked.
That's right.
But you keep your consciousness. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It's only transformed.
Yes.
Okay. So wake up to your greatness. Wake up to the fullness of you being a God realized being. You see? A being of light. That's what enlightenment means. It means you're in the light.
Yes. Yes.
There are no dark areas.
Yes.
And you're radiating. That's why when you see saintly persons or spiritual persons, you see an aura, the light coming off of them.
Yeah.
See, your brain is electrical. your heart is magnetic. So you're an electrical magnetic being. And when you put both of them together in a focus or faith, that's how you manifest.
Wow. Wow.
We're made in the image and likeness of God.
Yes.
Okay. What is God? A creator. Also a maintainer and a destroyer. That's a whole nother thing.
That's the next episode.
That's the next step, right? But we are creators. And even though you're not conscious of it, everything in your life you've created.
Yeah.
So the more you get the stress out of your system and wake up and expand your consciousness, you start to create better and better creations. Right. And then your cup starts running over.
Yes.
And then you're able to give your truths, your talents, your time. We're not on planet Earth to pay bills.
Hello.
Even though that's part of it, you got to have a place to stay, you got to eat, you got to take care of your body, but you're here for much more. And you start, another thing about being still, you start to know the truth. And then the truth starts to set you free.
Oh my gosh,
you start to know who you are. Yes. What is your purpose?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all know it's not growing up in a family where you might have, one parent or no parents or both parents. You might have some sibling rivalry. You go to a little bit of school, you might get bullied or somebody might bully you, and as you get older, you might find a girlfriend or a boyfriend, some relationship stuff, some hard stuff. Then you might get married. You might not. You might have some kids. You might not. You pay some bills. You have some little ups and downs. And then you get old and die. Everybody knows there's more to life than that.
Man.
But if you don't raise your consciousness, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You see? You raise your consciousness, and then you start walking with the angels, the gods, because you're at that level.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes. We're not just the seer. We're not just the seer. We're also the observer. And we have to tap into that.
Exactly.
Man, I love it. Wow. Well, thank you, Master JeRu. Thank you so much. And for those of you who want to get in touch with him, feel free to reach out to me and let's make this happen. I mean, you have a journey on you, and you just getting started. You just getting started to, expanding your brand. Yeah.
Yes.
So thank you. Thank you so much, Master JeRu. I appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate you too. And like I said, I'm kind of shy, so it's hard.
Where? But thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Okay.
It's a pleasure.
All right. Wow. All I have to say is wow. If that didn't ignite your fire to help you understand why you're here, reduce the stress, and tap into yourself. So, you have to slow things down so you can speed them up. But this master right here, Master JeRu, tap into his book. Get to know you on another level. Thank you all. I appreciate you all spending the time here on Beyond Boardroom Business every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm your host, Coach Stephanie. And until the next time, stay prayerful, stay patient, and stay purposeful. I love you all, and I look forward to you all next week. Peace.